In the next few minutes, I'm going to share secret techniques on how I create liquid text effects in Adobe Illustrator. Jump into Illustrator and drop some text onto your artboard, and then we want to convert that text into an outline. So select the text, right click and go to Create Outlines, and then while the text is still selected, hold down the Alt key, click and drag above the original text layer, hold down the Shift key to snap that into place, and then just drop the duplicated text above, and then press Ctrl D 3 times to create another 3 duplicates. And while the text is still selected, hold down the Alt key once more and just drag another duplicate of the text, which we'll use later on. Next, we want to give each one of our text elements a colour, starting with the top one, which is going to be the colour white, and then we want to colour the last 4 using these colours on the left hand side, and I've noted down the colour swatches for each one. So pause the video now and just create those colour swatches ready, and then we just want to add each colour swatch to each text element. Once all the text has been coloured in, make a selection around all 5 text elements and go to Object, Group, and then just horizontally and vertically centre the text within the artboard, and then go to Object, Ungroup to ungroup those elements. Next, we're going to create a blend in between each colour. So using the blend tool, which is shortcut W on the keyboard, first thing you want to do is select the white text layer, then click the yellow, then click the pink, then click the blue, then click the purple, and that'll create a blend in between each colour. Then double click the blend tool in the toolbar to bring up the options menu, and then we want to select specified steps and use a value of something like 150, just so we get a smooth transition in between each colour. Just to make it easy to see everything, I'm going to select the rectangle tool, click anywhere within the artboard and create a rectangle which is 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is the size of my artboard. And then I'm going to horizontally and vertically centre that rectangle within the artboard, right click and go to Arrange Centre Back, and I'm just going to colour that in a dark bluey grey colour, and then I'm just going to lock the background layer within the layers panel. This next part uses a tool you probably haven't used before. So on the left hand toolbar, you want to locate the width tool, click and hold down your mouse button, which will bring up a submenu, and then we want to select the twirl tool. With the twirl tool selected, what you want to do is start off at the bottom of the blend and just click and twirl the text so it deforms, and then slowly move up until you start getting a wavy text effect. Be careful not to twirl too much, otherwise the colour will jump up. If that happens, just press Ctrl Z and then just reapply the twirl in a different area, and just keep working the text until you've got something that you're happy with. Once you're happy with the way everything looks, we need to basically expand our blend. At this point, as soon as you expand it, there's no going back. So if you do want to tweak some more, reselect the twirl tool and then just go over the parts that you want to improve. Otherwise, go to Object, Blend, Expand, and then what you'll end up with are loads and loads of shapes which make up our blend effect. Next, to add a bit more depth, what we can do is we can blur the bottom part of the effect. And to do this, you want to double click the group to go into isolation mode, make a selection around the bottom portion of the effect, and you'll notice that a load of shapes get selected, and then go to Effect, Blur, Gaussian blur, and then we just want to use something like a radius of 10, and then press OK, and then just double click on the artboard to come out of isolation mode, and you'll see that it slowly blurs out and gets sharper as it goes to the top. Speaking of the top part, to make the word design stand out a little bit more, what we can do is grab our spare text element, change the colour to the colour white, and then just grab it and position it over the top of our blend object. Obviously, if you've got smart guides enabled, it does make the process a little bit easier. Once the text layer is in its place, what we can do is add a drop shadow. So select the text and go to Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow. And the settings you want to use are Blend Mode Multiply with opacity of around 5%, 0 for the X offset and around 10 for the Y offset. And then you can adjust the blur to suit. I've gone for a blur 24 pixels, and that just adds a subtle shadow which makes the word stand out that little bit more. And then finally, to finish off the effect, we're going to add some noise within the background. So unlock the background layer, hold down the Alt key and drag a duplicate to the top of the stack. Relock the background layer, and then while the duplicated layer is still selected, go to Effect, Texture, and then grain, and then we can just use the default settings, so something like 11 and 100, and then press OK. And then we want to change the blend mode to overlay, and then set the transparency or opacity level to 20%. And if you don't have the transparency panel within your workspace, if you go to Window and then just select Transparency. If you've enjoyed this tutorial and want to explore more exciting techniques, be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from the community, and I'm always eager to engage with fellow creatives. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one.